Happy weekend to you, friends. Jeremy Knight here with our regular check-in about all things happening in the life of St. Paul's United Methodist Church. Coming to you on a Friday. You may be catching this later in the weekend, but Friday, January the 16th. Grateful for you guys tuning in and hanging out for just a couple minutes. Just if you didn't hear me say it loud and clear enough, I just want to thank so many of you for being flexible with us last weekend. We had to shift our venue, our location for worship to the fellowship hall due to the new carpet being installed in the sanctuary. And we had an incredible crowd. I'm so very grateful that so many of you came out and joined us in worship. Grateful for those of you that connected with us online and gave us some grace, because the change of venue, of course, affected the technology infrastructure that we normally have for our live stream. So it was maybe wasn't quite as strong, or the quality that you normally receive in the live stream. So thank you, all of you, for just offering some grace and being flexible this past weekend. I'm pleased to tell you that in just a matter of minutes, actually, we will get to go through the walkthrough as they are completing, in the process of completing our carpet install as I'm recording this. And so we look forward to being back in the sanctuary this Sunday. I'm so very grateful for the incredible generosity, the incredible work, the patience, and the desire that so many of you have felt towards these projects, both replacing the roof of this building and now the flooring in the sanctuary. We are so very grateful for the ways that you take good care of what has been entrusted to you here at St. Paul's. And so the fact that we get to continue to use these wonderful resources for the proclamation of the gospel of Jesus Christ and to building of God's kingdom here, we are so very, very grateful. So with that being said, I really just want to encourage you to be in worship this week. I don't mean to say the same type of things each and every time that I communicate with you, but I will be totally honest, and I'm only saying this because I've even meeting with some people today and having some conversations. You know, we really, really need one another. We need to be recentered in what God has for us. We need to be reminded consistently who and whose we are. That's what church is for, right? You can believe in Jesus by yourself. You can seek to follow Jesus by yourself. But the good news, and part of the whole gospel, is that you don't have to. That we were created to be together and to walk these roads together. There's a lot going on in our world, a lot going on in our hearts and in our communities that is hard. That is always the case, but it seems like that is amplified much more in this particular season that we're in. And so I just call on you to be together, to lean on one another, to recenter ourselves in the hope of the gospel. And in doing so, we will not only be encouraged, we will not only be reminded and remembered to who and whose we are, but we will be motivated to live our faith in ways that truly make a difference, that we would be engaged in the life of the world and not just our own internal lives. And so with that in mind, I just want to invite you to be with us. We'll continue in our theme this season, which is Awaken to Grace, where we are revisiting those very central practices, those very central, many call them spiritual disciplines, the things that we know we are invited to do, those things that can be built into our lives that create space for God to move, for God to grow us more and more into the people that we are created to be. And in doing so, we know of God's grace in a more deeper and more profound way, so that God's grace is, yes, something that we accept, that we know, that we experience, but then we also live from and give and give and give to other people. So we're going to shift gears this week. We've talked about prayer. This past week we talked about what it means to live sacramentally, specifically around baptism and our baptismal vows. This week we're going to talk about the practice of being engaged and having a relationship with our Holy Scriptures. What does it mean for us to search the Scriptures? What does it mean for us to have a relationship with this book, this collection, this library of 66 books written by dozens of authors in a plethora of different places with different motivations, with different experiences and understandings? What does it mean for us to have a relationship with something that is so beautiful and diverse and challenging and nuanced? And so we're going to talk about that. Hopefully you'll feel encouraged. Hopefully you will draw closer to what it means, this beautiful gift that we have in our Holy Scriptures. So be with us, of course, this Sunday, 10:30 a.m. We'll meet together here in the sanctuary, the newly carpeted sanctuary. I pray that you will be with us. Of course, we will have nursery for our children 5 and younger. We'll have children's church for our children older than that. And I pray that you will come and be with us and experience all that God has to offer us in this community of faith that we call St. Paul's. All right. Grace and peace to you all. We'll see you very soon.